cutting edge or over the edge, body modifications are on the rise, and the most popular, body piercings, noses, nipples, and nothing we can show on here.
You know, like, you know why our chicken's so funny?
Why?
Because!
That's gonna be the intro, guys.
Hi, friends.
Welcome back to Pretty and Pierce. Today we're here with my dad.
Hi, guys. Let's go.
Mr. Daddy Jack is here today, and we have some questions for him. Okay, so starting off, we want to hear from the beginning. Tell us about the start of your career.
Yeah, well, I love tattoos before I was a tattoo artist, and I got tattoos for myself on my birthday every year. And then I had a family, and I was like, I need a career real fast. So I got into it. I got into it at a motorcycle shop called the Chop Shop. It was in Euless. I got mentored by Shay Eccles.
Shout out Shay.
I started in 2005.
Okay, so I was about a year old at the time.
Yeah, you were a year old. Your brother was almost born.
Not yet?
Yeah, not yet.
Okay.
I was 4.
You were just wandering off in Arkansas?
Yeah, somewhere.
That's crazy. How, was your apprenticeship with Shay easy, or was it very old school?
I would say it was easier than most back then.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Shay is one of the best guys I know, one of the best guys I've ever met, and I'm rare and grateful to be able to still have a relationship with him. You know, that's not something that happens all the time in this business.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like a lot of power, it kind of creates, bad relationships a lot of the time.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't have one of those.
That's good. That's super good. And then, when did you start piercing? Because
that
was
how you
not
started
when you're
piercing story.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I didn't at first. I was just a tattoo artist, and so I was working at this. It was the first shop I ever worked at. It's not even there anymore. It was a cocaine den more than it really was a tattoo shop. Some guy out of prison convinced his father into opening a tattoo shop, and they hired me. So I was.
Was it from the beginning, you were there, or what?
No.
It had been open.
It had been open, I don't know, a year maybe before I got there.
Okay, so they had a little bit of shop experience.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was mostly just this guy out of prison and one other guy who'd worked at a shop before.
So kind of like a private thing almost.
No, they were definitely open to the public.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Trying to sugarcoat it so bad.
Yeah, they should not have been, for sure.
Dang, that's crazy.
I didn't last very long. I got out of there as quick as I could.
Yeah.
You know.
So how many studios did you work at before you branched out on your own?
Well, there was that one, and then Tribal Image, and then the Ink Pit, and then my own.
Yeah.
So not that many, yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't bounce around a lot. I did take about a year to go travel in convention circuits. So that was pretty fun, but not ideal for having a family.
Yeah, I feel like I roughly remember that area because I remember you had Ink Pit, and then I remember it was okay, we're figuring some stuff out, and then boom, we're opening up the new shop, and that was a really big deal. How did you feel in that moment of was it scary for you, or was it mostly rewarding in that moment? How'd you feel at the start?
Opening the shop?
Mm-hmm.
It was scary. Scariest thing I ever done in my life.
Yeah.
Scariest thing I ever done in my
Yeah.
life. You take everything you have, and then you pretty much get a loan on everything else. Then you dive in head first, and you're like, fucking hope I swim, man.
Yeah. What made you want to pull the trigger and start your own shop?
Instead of finding somewhere else?
Yeah, instead of just finding another studio to work at.
I think owning a shop has always been
The
a goal. It's been a goal since I started, for sure. And it took opening a shop for one to realize that, hey, there's more goals to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What would you do if you weren't a tattoo artist?
That's a good one. What's
Okay.
another career you would have wanted to do?
I tried to be a rock star for a while. So I felt back on tattoo artist. Yeah, that was my
second
plan
choice?
B for sure. That rock star thing wasn't working out.
Did you want to be a drummer?
No, not at first. I wanted to be a front man.
Okay.
For sure, yeah, I played a lot more guitar than drums back then, for sure.
That's crazy.
Drums are just more soothing now.
That explains
Oh,
why when
shit.
you get super like locked into tattooing, you're always like singing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Always
For sure.
bells. Oh yeah.
Definitely.
That's so funny.
That is
So
funny.
it kind of is like both your career paths you want to kind of merge together, honestly.
Yeah, well, you know, being a tattoo artist, like being a local rock star, kind of.
Low key.
Yeah.
Low key, high key, actually, yeah.
Everybody in your neighborhood knows who you are. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
definitely.
definitely. That's crazy to think about.
It really does. That's
But
so cool, though.
I remember I used to be a kid and he would tell me like I'm famous around this town and I'd be like, Dad, like calm down. No,
Like,
No, but then
And-
we'd see people at the
yeah,
store.
and they'd be like, "Oh my God, Jack!" And he'd be like, "I have no idea who that person is." And I'd be
I
like,
try to remember.
of course, but like it made a point that like you do know so many people, and it was like, I guess humbling in a sense because I was
Yeah.
like, I didn't believe you for such a long time. I was like,
Yeah.
whatever, but yeah, that's crazy.
Now you know he wasn't lying.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like I start to see it in myself too. Like that guy at the shop today was like, "Yeah, you pierced my ears," and I was like,
I
was like, cool.
Looking back.
"Yeah, literally." I was like, "Okay."
Today, too. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, like sorry, yeah, you know.
And I think I'm so good at remembering people's faces and stuff, and I like
Until
try to
that
talk to
happens.
everyone, and then and then that'll happen. Like,
Yeah, well, you realize you've been staring at their ear the whole time you're
Yeah.
talking to them. You know, you can know what their fucking ear looks like. but You have no
Yeah.
idea what their face looks like.
exactly, it's definitely weird. It's definitely weird to kind of navigate that.
That's funny as fuck. How did you get the name Jen?
Oh yeah, I was okay. Like nothing weird, but like, was that like a name that you came up with for yourself, or was it kind of
Like,
like
were
it
you
just stuck around?
manifesting it becoming a
No.
family business?
No, not at all. I was taking care of somebody else's kids, and somebody was like, "Hey, Daddy Jack."
Oh,
You know?
okay.
I had stepkids and 2 kids of my own. I went from having 1 to having 4.
So
like,
you were just Jack
real
Tat
fast.
before, correct?
No, Jack Tat was just a Facebook name, man.
Oh.
You know, Daddy Jack is what it always was.
Wait, I have a question. What were like your other like top 3 tattoo studio names that you were kind of picking between?
Oh yeah, was
I
there
didn't.
another
I
choice?
didn't. No, there was.
That
never,
was just
there
Daddy
was
Jack?
never another choice. It was always gonna be
Wow,
Daddy
That was
Jack
the
shit.
one. It was the one.
Yeah.
That's so
Universal
funny.
Star. That's crazy.
And never even gave a second choice, a second thought.
Yeah,
You know?
right.
Mm.
So,
Nice.
I mean, at least it's not Kylie's kick-ass tattoos.
It was cool, man.
Zach, you did her so dirty
Dude,
with that.
no, I defend it to this day. It's like a rock.
No, my idea is way better.
Yeah, no. Kylie's was way better, and it kind of started like, because was Buddy Boy after Baby Girl, right?
Well, yeah,
Well, he's had the nickname forever as well.
Yeah,
yeah,
like
since they were born.
everything,
yeah.
it like makes the whole like shop.
But like yeah,
All the
him
odds
transforming
make
like
sense.
his Instagram and stuff like that. Yeah, that was
Mhm.
after I did. I was like super young. Like I would be like, Dad, don't call me that, you know.
Um,
But
Yeah.
like at one point, I was like, it just made more sense. I was like, baby girl, body piercing. And I was like, I'm cooking.
Right.
I'm
yeah,
like I'm
Right.
eating on
I'm
something.
cooking right
And
now.
yeah, and so then I think like me embracing it a little bit more kind of also helped him be like,
Mhm.
oh, you know, I see her point. Or
Yeah.
Right.
I like to think about it that way. I don't know.
I think it all like makes perfect sense. Like you, Gibson, and Kylie, like all of the names and stuff you guys have chosen. I think it like just kind of flows together so well. Like you guys
Yeah, it's come
premeditated
together.
it,
Totally not.
but it
no.
just ended up being
Just
that way.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it
So
just
with
ended
that
up
being
way.
said, though, like, did you always picture us being in the industry with you, or is it
Not
just
at
kind of
all.
like a blessing in your eyes? Like,
Yeah. No, I didn't think y'all would at all, for sure. I thought Gibson for a long time. I think he didn't. He wouldn't. I think he was going to shoot for anime artist.
mm-hmm.
You know, overall, and I was just like, you
video
know,
or something.
well, until you're an anime artist, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he finally came around, and you totally surprised me. I thought you were gonna be an interior decorator. You know what I mean?
Interior designer.
Yeah, I wanted
Yeah.
to go to college for interior design, and I was like looking at this place in Georgia and all this stuff, and then he was like, you know, just keep it in your back pocket, and I was like, I don't know, Dad, like I don't know, and then he was like, you know, well if you want to, you know, we're gonna start on Wednesdays, and I was like, all right, you know,
Yeah,
but
might as well try
because
it.
I was thinking about it, I was like, you know, it's with my dad, it's free, rather than me going to a private college states away. I was like, let's give it a try, you know, I could always apply whenever,
yeah,
but.
for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm glad where I am now, but I didn't expect it either when I was younger. I didn't know what I
Yeah.
wanted to do, I guess, but
Mhm.
yeah, figuring it out as we go for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I didn't think your brother was going to for a while. Like he kind of resented it. You
I
know?
think so too.
Because he's been an artist since he was so young, you know, and I think that he always just kind of felt pressure of it being expected of him, even though I didn't care one way or another. But the same thing, I was just like, Might as well
It
know
would be cool,
how.
yeah.
You could know how and not do it for the rest of your life, you know. And I think that's what won him over.
Yeah. Because, I mean, it is fun, you know, and it's not addicting in any sense, but, like, there's way worse places to be, for sure. And I
Oh,
think you
yeah.
start to realize that when you're in the moment, for sure.
Right.
How many like artists did you start off with? Like, how did the launch of the studio go?
Started off with 3 artists. There was myself and 2 others. It was Derek Teal and Calvin. I can't remember his last name. It's been forever.
With
So
the, like,
long.
this.
Yeah.
So, okay.
But I remember Calvin used to always say, "Put a dragon on it." And about any design, he wanted to put a dragon on it. It was
That's
hilarious.
kind of funny.
Yeah,
Did
it was,
you know Derek
3
before?
of us. Huh?
Did you know Derek before?
No. I just I put an ad out that I was hiring, you know,
Yeah.
and then those are the guys that answered, and then I knew I could already do like all the positions myself, so
Yeah.
I, you know, if anybody answered the ad, I didn't really care. I was, you know, I was taking off either way.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Why are charity events so important, and what made you want to start doing charity events?
Yeah, I feel like not a lot of tattoo studios or shops do charity events like you do.
You know, I'd like to see more shops do it. I think that a reason that a lot of us like try to do good things in our community is because we want our community to look at tattooed people differently.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're often judging us for you know, the way the tattoos used to be perceived.
Yeah.
When it's a totally different game now, and so I feel like when I'm in public and people see me, you know, this heavily covered, that I kind of owe the industry a responsibility to, you know, do right and give back to the community.
Yeah, no,
That's fair.
I've never seen it like that way. I never thought of it like that way. You know what I mean? That's really cool.
I definitely understand that though, because even like when you dropped off the Toys for Tots, I'm sure like the guy, like I know he knew like who you guys were and everything, but I still think he was just so surprised that we had so much to give. And
He was for sure.
you
He's-
know,
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that is just still another point where like they wouldn't expect as much from us in a sense. You know what I mean? And I think it's really cool that you can like smallly change that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you want to be perceived differently as a tattooed person, you owe it to
Do
yourself
something.
and your community to do something.
No, that's totally fair. And I think it's a lot more common now, especially
Yeah.
to see like some things. Like I see a lot of people do like, you know, raffles for like whatever.
Yeah.
But like I feel like ours is a lot more personable because like there is a full meaning and like there is like y'all can see what we're doing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and we work up to it too, and we do a lot of marketing for like our events and stuff. as
Yeah,
well.
for sure. That's the hard part, man.
Yeah,
for
it is,
sure.
it is the hard part.
Getting ready.
but, yeah.
Then once the day hits, it's boom, 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 then it's over, yay!
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth it though. It's really fun, even if we
Yeah.
like don't make any money. You know, it's fun.
Yeah, we've never not made any money. They've always been successful to the people
No,
we're
like
trying
I
to
think she
help.
means for us, you
Yeah,
know?
for
It's
us.
like
Oh yeah, like if we
It's a
don't make
hard
any money,
day.
yeah, I hear
it's,
you. Yeah,
it's a hard day, but it's so rewarding at the end just to see like the tallied up numbers.
yeah. The tally up numbers the next day, I think, is the best part.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you think that it would be as successful as it is now?
Yeah, like the studio.
Yeah, your whole vision, your
The
dream.
dream, yeah. Well, no, like it's going beyond what I ever thought. You know, we're looking at we got plans to open one in the Guadalupe, and we got plans to open them in Denver, and she wants to go to New York. You know,
They don't know about our secret.
No,
I guess
you
we're
know,
not gonna talk about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
will not affect the podcast. We can do this via two.
No, we know. We
computers.
just haven't said anything yet. They don't know that I'm leaving.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Got big plans for the future, and you know, get to pull that off with some people you really care about is pretty unique,
Yeah.
and I think very special. And something to be grateful for.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
definitely.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I knew that like it was so well off at the old studio, and like I knew that we would be fine where we are now, but I didn't know the vision was so widespread. You know, I thought it was do really good here and we'll be good. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't
And
Still
either.
be comfortable.
Yeah, I didn't either, man. Just keep, you know.
it
keep
just
about.
comes. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. And you just gotta be like grateful the whole way for sure. And like I think like you said, like you can be so scared, but just putting your all into it and something will happen. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I've done it enough times now too that I'm like confident in making that
Yeah.
jump.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, you can. I mean, you've just succeeded so many times, like at everything. So you're like, whatever.
It's
Yeah,
like, oh,
it's not too hard as long as you work hard. As long as you work
Yeah.
hard, you stay consistent in what you do. You know, keep your education up, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, constantly learning and growing for sure.
I think a good question to add in there too, though, is like, how do you prevent yourself from getting lazy in that kind of situation? Or like,
I just
like
keep
getting
making
knocked
new
down,
goals.
Yeah, just keep making new goals,
Making
guys.
new ones that I don't think I can accomplish, and then later I did it, and I'm like, all right, now what do we do?
Yeah.
You know?
That's fair.
Oh, what's next? Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, I definitely do feel that. I feel like you always have like some niche new thing you're starting.
Yeah, it's something.
Or
Yeah.
a new goal, like even with like boxing and stuff.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? And or the how you want to pierce like one day out of the month so you don't like lose your spot.
Oh yeah,
piercing,
that's important.
Like,
that's important.
yeah, all
For
that
sure.
stuff. I was like, oh,
We did
okay.
have some questions about piercing too.
Yeah, we
So-
got.
We know you started piercing at that one place.
Oh
Right.
yeah, so they made me pierce, and I had no idea what I was doing. And this girl walked in. She said, "Can I get my lip pierced?"
Oh, I would be
And
shitting my pants.
I said, sure. And I turned around to the boss, and he says, "You're doing it." And I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. He's like, "Well, you're
So,
doing it anyway."
Okay, with that being said, did you use triangle forceps?
I have no idea.
You don't remember
You don't
I
any of
don't, I
it?
don't remember what they were. I knew that they were, some kind of clamp.
Okay, you
It
used
might have
clamps.
been. It might have been for a tongue. I think it was.
They
like,
were used a lot more often.
Yeah, and I don't think it had a slot in it.
Oh, those are so
Yeah.
bad. I hate those.
But when I put it on her lip, I clicked it together, man. And then I got it, somehow managed to get the jewelry in and get it tightened, and then
Getting
get
the
this
jewelry thing
clamp
is crazy.
off of it. That was hard too, but as soon as the clamp came off, her lip was like, super big, real fast.
That's so bad. Yeah, that's so bad.
God.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So that
But he
was
did
your first ever piercing was a lip. Well,
Yeah, I had several on myself already, so I kind of knew what was going on, but not I hadn't
professional
studied
science. Yeah. What is your favorite piercing to do?
to perform.
Yes.
Oh man, it's got to be the nape.
Really?
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
That's so
It
random.
is rare and it's super cool.
That is.
And it's very hard
It's
to do.
surface in the back of your neck.
Oh.
Yeah.
Insert a photo here. Yeah, they're not common at all. Like I don't think I've ever done an ape, and like I honestly could,
They are
but
meaty.
yeah.
They're thick.
I mean,
man.
it's like my surface piercing that was on like my lower back was the closest I've ever
I feel like I
experienced,
heard
but that's
that.
tighter skin.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I feel like it would feel like getting tattooed.
So okay, with that being said,
It's much different.
with that being said, if your favorite was to do is the nape, whenever you started performing those, how far into your piercing career, I guess, were you?
Probably 5 years.
Really?
Yeah, 5 years before I did my first one.
What kind of jewelry did you have?
Back then they were using a lot of the Bioflex stuff.
Oh.
I wasn't a big fan of it, but we
Yeah.
had that there, and then we had like different sized barbells and of course curved barbells. But also back then, like we adjusted it a little ourselves.
Yeah, like you would bend it
know?
yourselves and
Yeah,
stuff.
so like on the napes I used to perform back then, I would take a regular barbell and just bend the ends up a little bit with
Mm-hmm.
2 pairs of hemostats.
Yeah, I know what you mean, and they also will do that for like industrials with different anatomy to make it like forward helix in a flat almost, and
Yeah.
they'll bend the barbell.
Or you
I
can
think
put a
it's really
step in it,
interesting.
you know.
Mhm.
The favorite that he's ever gotten on himself.
Oh yeah.
That I've ever gotten on myself. I don't know. I would probably say the tongue ring
Really?
was my favorite. Yeah, but
How old were you when you got your tongue pierced?
17, I think.
Damn.
Yeah, I had my friend's mom take me, and they just pretended to be my mom.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That because like for us it's so important like
Mhm.
nowadays I guess, and I forget that like it was so casual. It was just like yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot rougher scene back in the
Yeah.
day. That's for sure.
Yeah. That's wild. Your tongue was your favorite, and you still don't have it in.
No, just because of the dental implications.
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna play with it.
Yeah, I
You
mean
know,
no,
I
that's
know me.
fair.
Yeah.
I wear it on special occasions.
You can still wear it, guys. It's fine.
If you're not going to use that weed tongue
So,
ring, I'll
is your
take
favorite
it.
one? Is your favorite one right now your septum or?
Yeah, I think ever since I got my septum, that's been my favorite. But
Mm-hmm.
my tongue was my first one, my first favorite.
Oh yeah.
Aw.
You pierced your lobes, your first lobes yourself, correct?
I did one of them myself in the bathroom, and I did a few body piercings on myself as an immature young man.
Okay. we live and we learn.
Yeah.
You know.
Some of them are barely hanging on.
Ugh. That's crazy. I still haven't pierced myself anywhere. I probably would like my stacked lobe. I could probably do it. I just don't want to.
Yeah.
Well, because like I have 2 people sitting right here that can do it for me
that's what,
for free
exactly.
and faster. But I feel like it's also like I have to. You know what I mean? What are y'all's opinions on that? What is your
I don't
opinion
think you
on that?
have to.
No,
I think
yeah.
you're in a beautiful position to do it
Yeah,
right.
That's fair.
definitely.
No, that's fair. But I've always been lucky in that sense. Like I remember, did I get my ears pierced when I was really little at one point?
If your mom
feel
might
like
have
I
took you,
did.
but I wouldn't have let.
And then you
I
did
wouldn't
it
have
the-
said it. You know,
I feel like you did it the second time.
maybe.
And I was like 8 and it was at your studio.
I think your mom may have tried to do that like behind my back. Because I wasn't for it. I'm not
Yeah.
for piercing infants.
Yeah, it's freaky. But I mean, we all have different opinions on it, and I think that that's totally fair too. Because like, for me, like even sometimes if they're like 5, like it freaks me out still. And I'm very like in the piercing room. I will not like talk them up to it. Like I'll tell them everything's okay, but I won't be like, come on, let me just do it. No.
I'll fucking it'll make me cry, and then I'll get
Yeah.
mad at their mom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like you said, she was ready.
It will cause a scene if I'm doing it. It will be not good.
But I also like respect Bree's opinion too, where it's like she'd rather do it and do it safely than.
No, yeah, I get that aspect too. And some people have it in them to do it, but I am not one of them.
Yeah, I'm not tough
I
enough.
will start bawling.
Yeah.
Because I'll do like infants, and then but if they're like 2 or 3, I always tell them I haven't done any 2 or 3-year-olds. I haven't even done anyone.
Because
I,
that's
I
why
can
it
imagine
is.
trying
I do
to
like
do a
only
toddler.
infants or 5. You know what I mean? Because the little ones, like 1 through 3, and even 4, like they'll just be fucking with it the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've trained 4 to 5 people that work at the shop. You often say that your favorite part of your job is teaching. Why?
Yeah. Why do you like teaching so much, huh? I'm just kidding. But like, what changed it for you? I mean, obviously, I know with maturing in the industry and maturing in yourself and all of that. But what's your
You know, you're giving somebody something they can use the rest of their life. You know, they're giving them a career, and it's kind of like if you have a kid and you teach them how to like make their own bowl of cereal, and then that feeling you get when you're done, and they know how to do it themselves.
Yeah.
You know, like you're super proud
It's a
of
different
it.
type
You
of
know?
rewarding.
It feels like, you know, you're adding something positive to what you're leaving behind.
Yeah, definitely.
like you have an actual impact on somebody?
Yeah, and on this industry that I care so much about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so fair. I think I used to understand, like I could, from an outsider's point of view, understand what you meant by that. But then like seeing it kind of with her more, I was like, wow. Like, I don't know, like she's
Yeah.
TikTok famous because I taught her how to do something cool.
Right.
Like that's
yeah,
so
yeah.
cool, you know. But I think I get it, you know. It is rewarding and it makes you feel a lot smarter, I've realized too.
Yeah, well, I think you learn a lot while you're while you're teaching too, because you know besides the people who taught at the shop, I've taught multiple apprentices in the past,
Right.
and the same. You keep going over the same material, and you learn it better as yourself as a teacher. Like the first time you go through a course or whatever, you kind of get it.
Yeah, but then like hearing it in different ways and stuff.
It's like watching a movie for the fucking 8th time. You're like, I know every word now.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. That's a good way to describe it.
Yeah, and you say you're gonna always like have one at like one time at least, like one apprentice at a time. For I guess all the time.
I don't know. I mean, generally, I'm always teaching somebody.
Yeah.
But it's because I need somebody for this and that.
Yeah.
Hey, your front desk, what do you want to pierce?
Yeah.
There's always situations like that are popping up.
For sure. That makes a good point too, where like I guess we haven't really discussed how getting into the industry works, and like for me, like I had an easy slip in. For her, it was an interview process, which is not normal.
Yeah, but I was also very lucky in even finding out about it. You know what I mean?
It was. Yeah, that was a small world scenario. But
that
like
was
for
just really weird.
previous apprenticeships with you, was it interview style like that? Was it them begging to work there?
Yeah, I've been through it all as far as that goes. Some people beg for it. Those people, a lot of times, I give them a chance and they fuck up immediately. Gotta let them go. I've done the interview process, which seems to work out pretty well. Treating it like a real professional job and something that you need to be interviewed for and prove that you're the one that I should pick. And I think that works out really well. And then when you have kids, it's just Hey,
Yeah.
guess what?
Yeah. How many apprentices have you had? Do you know?
Oh man, it's hard to say. Maybe 10?
That's so cool. There's 10 people in this industry just because of him. Like,
Mhm.
that's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's crazy. But I've got one under my belt. 1.5. I take half.
I'll take half of the other half, man.
From-
Well, for her, man.
oh, well, nah.
Dork.
I take 75% for her.
Alright, well, I got 75%, and I got most of Ceci.
Alright, whatever.
It's like
Moving
God,
on.
they're fighting over me, you guys. Feels so good.
Alright. The next one is what trophy means the most to you and why?
Oh, yeah. Like, what's your favorite trophy you won? Was it your first one?
There used to be this show that was pre-COVID, and it was called Color Couture. And they didn't do a whole lot of dates, and they didn't do a whole lot of categories. So they came to Dallas, and a bunch of colleagues, from around town had signed up, and there were lots of people that I looked up to were at this show. But they only had 2 categories. One was best color, and one was best black and gray.
Damn.
And they did one on Friday and one on Saturday, and color was on Saturday, and I won first place.
Wow. How many did they do? 3?
That was the most people that I had ever won in front of, like this that I looked up to, especially that I had ever competed against at once, because there was so few categories. Everybody competed in
Yeah.
those 2.
Yeah, I mean, because you could fit anything into color.
I want to say there was over 60 artists in that category.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And a lot of them from around town. A lot of them people I looked up to.
Yeah.
I still do.
And what year was that?
2015 or 16 maybe.
So
Dallas.
you've been tattooing for like 10 years
Yeah.
at that point?
Yeah, about 10 years.
And keep in mind, guys, this is 2025 now, so this is your 20 years. That's
Yeah,
really
my
important.
20 years coming up in August.
That's really, really cool. And that's a huge step. I mean,
Yeah.
not everybody can say that, you know?
We can say our trip to Mexico is for your 20 years.
Yeah?
Yeah, for
Right?
sure. For sure.
That'll be
It's like
fun.
4th of July. It's
4th of
Jack's
July in
20th.
Mexico, guys.
It's pretty fun. We've done it.
Yeah, we've done it. It's fun.
I'm really excited. I'm like literally already ordering outfits.
You guys can order your passports. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I
part of the
applied
one.
for it. So.
Oh, yeah, 20 years. That's a big deal. We need to throw a big old party.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. You know exactly what day.
You know,
yeah, what day?
Yeah, August 20th.
August 20th?
Because we got
Yeah.
the keys to the shop August 1st.
So it'll be your
Or July
20th on the 20th of August?
Yeah. Yeah, that's when I was like, oh my god.
That's cool.
That's crazy.
And then we opened the first location September 13th, 2013?
Correct.
Correct. I
Yes.
remember. Because it was almost my birthday. That's how I remember.
Yeah. We had peanut
It was
butter
a-
salad
yeah.
sandwiches a lot that year.
Yeah, and I remember like we would hang out at the shop and like we would sit, like it used to be carpet in the lobby, and I'd sit there and I would cut out blank copy paper. I would waste his money on the copy
That's
paper,
nothing.
and I'd glue it all together and I'd build houses out of fucking paper. And
All
like
kinds
that
of
was our
stuff out of
stuff.
paper.
You
But
know?
that's what kids with tattoo artists do.
Yeah, and then, like,
they craft
He would have
behind
the
the
light.
counter.
He had the light board, and I would trace portraits,
Mm.
like
Yeah.
just for fun. And then he would print me out coloring pages, and I didn't have
That's
coloring
kind
books.
of smart and funny.
And he would
actually.
just like Google it, print it out, and I'd color it, and I'd be
Right.
like, "Give me another one," you know.
That's so.
That was
funny.
like how I grew up. It's so funny. It's so funny.
This is the
Here I
same
am.
girl who says she has no artistic ability.
Yeah,
whatsoever.
literally.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, she's getting it. She's
Yeah.
getting it real fast.
But
You
there's
gotta watch
a
out.
great one. No, literally, she was showing me her drawings the other day, and I was like, those are so much better than mine when I was in apprentice. I was like,
I don't agree.
and
I
she's
think
like, I feel like this sucks, and I'm like, you don't.
Yeah, I think some of you guys, some of y'all grasp different lessons harder than others.
Yeah.
You know.
no, for sure. And I think that's part of the cool, like that's the cool part of it, and that's I think the beginning of where you start to develop your style in a sense.
Yeah.
Because it's not just about what you like and what you don't like. It's also about what you lack and don't want to fix as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm a firm believer that people they don't file their style until they've done a bunch of styles, and that you
No,
gotta
for sure.
put in 10,000 hours at any task to master it.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I agree.
What is your favorite tattoo that you have on yourself?
Oh yeah. What's your favorite tattoo?
It's my rib cage.
Show
Oh,
off.
yeah.
Show it off.
This, this Brandon Albus from Dallas, Texas did this one.
Pretty
It's
cool.
so cool.
That was cool. How long was
I
that
love
one?
it. It was 3 sessions and it was 16 hours total.
Okay.
Yeah.
For First session was 12 hours, right?
No, this one was 6, 6, and 4. I have another one on my leg that was 12 all at once, and that was from Evan Olin in Providence, Rhode Island.
I'm so sorry. I tried to hold it. I was trying to hold it.
And are you talking about your octopus?
Yeah.
So yeah, and then you've done some tattoos on yourself as well. Do you have a favorite that you've done on yourself?
That I've done on myself is probably this skull right here.
Oh, that's cool.
That's when I first started getting into realism.
He has like a whole
Yeah.
sleeve on his leg of different skull types and
Yeah, a
stuff.
bunch of skulls on there, but that skull right there, I really
You're
I really
proud
felt
of.
like I was able to find the finesse of realism.
That's awesome.
You know.
What year did you do that one?
Man, that's a rough 08, 09.
Oh wow, that's
Around
that's
there,
already
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then those blue ones, they're blue and red, like the Laugh Now Cry Later ones.
That was like 05. That
You
was my
did-
first
you
year.
did
Yeah.
those, and then
They
did you
suck.
fix them? Right?
Yeah, I've done the second session on that. I've done a second session on a lot of the ones on my leg. You know.
Not that portrait though.
The portrait on my leg, no, that was done by.
No, the like Hank Williams one.
Oh yeah, that one. That was a rough story, man.
Didn't you? Is that the one with your jeans?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. So crazy story. You want to tell the camera or no?
Well, I mean, it's not much of a story. We've all gotten drunk after a fresh tattoo, right? You ever fall asleep with your jeans on when you do it?
When you don't have Sanoderm.
Yeah, no Sanoderm or nothing back then, so it was just ointment and blood and jeans, and it was stuck so hard by the time that I woke up that I had to get in the shower even to get my jeans off.
Ugh.
You
I would
know?
die.
God.
So
I would just
most
be
of
like-
it's missing.
Most of it's.
Yeah.
This is why we use Sanoderm. But you know.
That literally made me like.
I know, literally.
I wasn't there, but I picture it. I
Yeah.
feel like I was.
I
It
don't
was
even wanna
rough,
know
man. It was
how
rough.
bad that
It looked
hurt.
really good for a couple hours.
Did it?
Yeah.
I'm just
Aw.
kidding. I bet it did.
All right, my personal question: what's your favorite tattoo you've ever done?
That is constantly changing.
Mm-hmm.
It's constantly changing. My favorite project on the moment is Baby Girl's Music Leg. You know,
What
I
an
felt like he was gonna say that.
we're 2 years deep on it, a little over 2
In
years
April.
deep on it.
In
Yeah.
April will be 2 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you know, the big ones take a while, and he says constantly changing. I think I'm gonna have a new favorite after that. probably.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
about my other leg?
Yeah, Nemo, right?
Yeah. That's crazy. I was thinking about it too. I was like, I'm gonna have to get like majority of my tattoos like within the next year and a half, 2 years. Because I don't
Yeah,
trust
well,
everybody.
I'll fly to other places. Too.
Yeah, right?
You know?
I know. I want this arm done and this leg done. That'll be good enough. And we're doing my knuckles.
Knuckles for sure.
We're gonna do my knuckles when I start on skin.
Fire.
I'm so excited.
I'll be like just like him. Look. But anyways,
That should
I
be
can't wait
fun.
for that. That'll be exciting. I've been wanting it.
What are your future goals for the company, and where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Owner of a franchise.
Yeah, it's not going to be a traditional franchise per se, but owner of a big tattoo company. That's the idea. Have multiple shops in multiple cities, have people that I trust, managing those shops, and, you know, ultimately I want to create a board, you know, like a CEO, CFO, COO, all those, like a 10-seat board for the people that are getting started while it's young, you know, and build a tattoo shop that people can grow in, you know.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a safe one and
Right.
a
Definitely.
healthy
Yeah.
one. For sure. I think
It's a set of
we need
rules
it.
how things work,
Yeah.
you know, and how you treat your other tattoo artists and your clients. You know, I think those are,
Consistency.
the consistency is key for sure. Yeah, and I want to be able to take the consistency that I've learned and share that amongst a lot of artists in a lot of different cities.
Yeah. I mean, it's drilled into my brain, so
Definitely.
you know.
And I mean, I feel like I can confidently say, like, my entire adult life from, like, 18 to present, like, I've always lived with tattoo artists. Like, my closest friends have always been tattoo artists and stuff. And all of their experiences have been, like, low-key horrible getting into the industry, like, traumatizing.
It's super hard for most.
It is,
super
yeah.
hard.
And so, like, I was expecting, like, the most when I started with you guys. But everyone was, like, just so sweet and welcoming. And, like, yeah, it's hard work. But, you know, you guys aren't just dickheads to each other, you know,
just
like
to do it.
everyone like gets along and stuff, and it's not an entire dick measuring competition like the whole time.
I felt pretty
So-
bad about the meeting last Saturday, but I'd lost my dog. You know, and I yelled at everybody.
Yeah.
I felt pretty bad about that.
Yeah, no.
I was like, don't touch my fucking shit. Make sure you wash your shit. You know?
Yeah, and exactly, and it's like, I mean, I guess we all saw that and like understood, you know what I mean? Like that was definitely a traumatizing moment for you guys.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying though. Like I wouldn't want to like be a part of a company that wanted to grow and expand if it was like a shitty experience for me, like being there. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
would
there's
not
got to
wanna
be a
part of that.
there has to be a family vibe, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, for sure. It's got to, you know, respect the people you're working with and
Yeah.
have you know, goals to move forward, goals to
Mhm.
grow in the company, and you know, I think having that ambition like gives other people in the shop something to look up for.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
look up to.
I definitely didn't think there was gonna be like this much room for growth or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think sky's the limit, man.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely been so
So
fun.
in our board, are we gonna like have a fancy skyscraper office floor?
Probably not. We don't need that in the tattoo
Just
business
kidding.
for sure.
He's like, that's a little over.
It'll be legit Zoom. We work from home.
Yeah,
guys.
it'll be
We
Zoom,
like paint in
and-
our office rooms, and then we're like, hop on the Zoom at 10.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
hopefully it will be from our offices in our different Daddy Jack's locations. Around.
Yes.
What is the best advice that you could give us as a mentor?
Yeah, because I mean, you're the mentor of all of us in the room.
Yeah.
Literally.
To never stop reaching for new knowledge.
Never
Yeah.
stop learning.
Yeah, don't stop learning, but don't lose the desire to learn, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I feel like I was definitely getting in that slump before I started with you guys, and then like cause I remember like even just like watching my first couple piercings, I was like, "There's no way I can do this. Like I have to quit." You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna fuck something up. And
Yeah, but how comfortable do you feel now?
Yeah, I'm
right?
very comfortable for the most part.
Right?
All the time, but I mean, yeah, there's definitely just so much I have to learn, and I figure that out every day.
Yeah, or I think a big part of it is like when you're 5 down the road, or you know, 10 years down the road, be like, you know, you still gotta look for ways that you can improve yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, definitely.
And I think that like now too, because if we think about it, technically, I mean, in America, we're probably a little like over 100 years in to the industry, roughly, right?
Not electric. I mean, you know, Edison had made that machine, but it wasn't popular or widely used.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't popular till like the 50s.
yeah. So, I mean, but even then, since the 50s, I mean, there's so many books, there's so many seminars, there's so
Yeah.
many, like everything, you know,
You
there's so
have
many people.
have no idea how much there was not.
I know,
before
but
it
like
went
I'm
on
saying
TV.
now, you know.
I think it going on to TV made a bigger difference in the progression of tattoo industry than anything before that.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I mean, you can share so widespread and not only reading it, but seeing such a visual learning topic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when I got in right at the cusp before it was on TV,
Yeah.
right? So I saw how it was, you know. I saw it go from very few people in the population really loving it to very many people really, really fast, and so many people joining the industry and putting money into new inks and new cartridges and machines. You know, just it got flooded really quick. But I think if we handle it responsibly, it's going to go in the right direction.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you feel about that? Because I've been hearing the term tattoo apocalypse or whatever, and they're talking about like our industry crashing because so many people are joining.
Yeah, a lot of people are talking about that. I don't think that's going to happen. Tattoos are here to stay for sure. So I think what's going to separate, you know, artists that stick around with artists that don't is going to be their own determination, and you know, just staying steady at what they do and steady at progressing and getting better and getting more clients. The people who love it will stay here.
Right, for sure. Yeah.
You know, and I think the one thing that separates the people that are going to last in this industry against the people that don't is how much you love to do it. You know,
Yeah.
I wanted to scratch it for long. I got an apprenticeship and I moved forward in the industry, but I only did that because I loved it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, you felt like you had to.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. So wait, you were doing that before, roughly ish, right? And then, how long was that before you met Shay, or did you already
About
know
3.
Shay?
No, it was about 3 months. I got Shay's information from somebody had his business card at the gas station.
Is that actually why you started working with him?
Yeah. I started working for. I got his business card. Somebody had a fresh tattoo. You know, had Saran wrap on it back in the day and stuff. I was like, hey man, that's really cool. Who did that? Can I get the information? And he gave me Shay's card, and he lived really close to me. So you know, hit him up, and he gave me a job at his motorcycle shop, and I started learning how to tattoo at the same bike shop.
That's crazy. That's really cool. I've known Shay my whole life. Like when I think about it, really, I mean, because I didn't have any memory at that time. I
Yeah.
was 1.
Yeah.
But like,
One.
you know, he's always been
That's
like,
cool.
I've always seen like the respect, and I think it's really cool
Yeah.
because like I know that I uphold you in that same kind of way, you know, of respect. But
I think
seeing
a lot
it
of people in our
through his
industry
eyes,
don't
yeah.
get that privilege, and I'm grateful for it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Well, also, I mean, you just like I feel like with the like what we were teaching earlier, how you're always teaching people. You know what I mean? Like that's
I think that a lot of that came from Shay too. You know,
Yeah.
he was such a good teacher and such a patient teacher.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Like you're also just a respectable person.
Oh, he's the most respectable guy I know. You know, for sure, hands down.
Mhm. Shout out Shay again.
I have a question. Were you the only one being taught by Shay at that time, or was he teaching multiple people at the same time?
No, it was just me.
Just him.
Yeah.
How many people has he taught?
I don't know. A lot.
Really?
Yeah.
And are any of them at your level? I don't know.
Clint was better than me.
Shay taught Clint?
Yeah.
What the
Even I knew
hell?
that.
No, this is all connecting the dots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was just
yeah.
talking about how he was like.
No, I knew they were
messaging
always
his
hang
mom.
out. Yeah, I knew they were friends. I knew y'all always
Well, his
hung out.
mama rides,
And I knew
you know,
y'all
that's
knew
how I
him
know
with
that.
Shay, yeah, but I didn't know that. That's crazy. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's insane, especially since Clint
Rest
is,
in
like,
peace,
It was,
Clint.
yeah, probably
Rest
the
in
most
peace.
successful I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Word.
stuff after Ink Masters was killer, man. He only got better after that. you
Yeah.
know,
That's crazy. That's really cool though. That's crazy. Be like, yeah, you know. My dad was talking to the same guy. But that's cool.
Yeah.
Whenever he got on Ink Masters, did y'all know each other?
Very little. He got taught 7 years before I did.
Oh.
Wow, he had 7 years on you?
Yeah, I think Shay was teaching him when he was like 17 or something.
Oh, really?
He was really young.
That's, yeah, because I mean, if you passed at 35, I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, time-wise, I mean.
We're going to announce the calendar.
So, guys, he has a great idea, and he wants to share it with you guys.
So yeah, 2026, we're going to put out a Daddy Jack's Tattoo Girls calendar. And so we're going to be looking for some models coming up soon. These girls are going to use this podcast platform here to run some contests. So probably the first things you need to start doing is getting some professional photos done and send them in. And you guys can start making up rules on how you're going to pick the other girls, because we already have a lot that, you know, hang around the shop. Well, maybe 4, right? And then
Yeah, we
there's
have
probably...
like 4 or 5 right now.
Yeah, we only need
So
a
we
few
have-
more, really.
Well, yeah, we'll be looking for
Couple
about,
months.
Because
7.
Kylie, me, and
7 or
Alyssa
8, something
will
like
do
that.
it as well.
Hannah will probably be doing it.
Hannah,
Yes,
so
definitely
it's-
Hannah. But then also there's like you said, we need them. Do they need to already be pretty heavily tattooed, or is there going to
I would like them not to be too heavily tattooed, because they will get some tattoos over the next year that will be featured in the calendar.
be right? And is that
Yes.
for finalists? Is that for people who've already made it in?
That'll be for the last people, the last 8 or whatever we need.
So y'all, if y'all are hearing that right, we need approximately 7 more girls to send us in some photos of themselves for the 2026 calendar. You will be getting tattooed by Jack to be put in the calendar.
And then you'll get a chance to sell the calendars too after they're
Yeah.
printed. You get a commission off of what you get.
Yeah, and isn't it going to be like, aren't you going to be offered like discounted, like
Yeah.
big pieces
Yeah,
or
well,
something?
They're gonna be significantly less than what anybody else will pay for.
Yeah, so basically, like, we're gonna be wanting to feature large pieces done by Jack. So the girls who do get approved and are gonna be in the calendar with those large pieces, you will get a pretty hefty discount on the pieces that you're gonna be getting by him.
Cheap
so.
tattoos.
Yeah. Well, you know,
Cheap
like, Bree got her back
tattoos.
piece for $800.
Yes,
Yeah.
and what would you normally charge that? Like a couple grand, you said?
How many hours do we have in it all the way? It's
It was
$200
like-
an
It was
hour.
like 20 something, wasn't
Yeah, it's
it?
like $200 an hour is my rate. So
Yeah.
whatever that was, that's how much.
It was
would
like,
be.
I think it somewhere around like $3,000 or something.
I was like, yeah, that's like almost $4 grand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
$4,000, and I got mine for $800. So it's gonna be something sort of like that. I mean, obviously I work at those shops, so you know.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, the winners will get very good deals and maybe even a couple free ones.
Yes.
Like,
So
maybe even mention that they have to sit for long periods of time. They can't just be like 2 hours.
Yes.
sessions.
Yeah, we don't want nobody's gonna be a little bitch.
no, we can't have you guys sitting out. You have to be able to sit for
Long
At
period,
least
long
5
sessions.
hours.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least 5, 6 probably.
5, 6 minimum.
Yeah,
would
I
be-
think.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, you will get a chance to sell these calendars, and then if you do well this year, you might just be on the team again next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm gonna be selling the shit out of these calendars. I'm so excited. It's gonna be so fun.
No, I mean like going to sports bars and stuff.
Yeah, when I was just at conventions,
That is
and,
so true. Yeah.
motorcycle rallies. I go to a lot of events, and
Yeah.
if
It'll be fun.
any of you guys, that are in the calendar wanted to go to those events, you'll have an opportunity to sell them.
Sign 'em and
without
autograph
any
'em.
risk of having to print it yourself or anything.
Right, that would be super fun.
It's gonna be so fun, you guys. I get
That's
June.
for you. That's for you guys to figure out.
I
Whatever.
get June.
You're gonna make everything look pretty, and I'm gonna pay for it.
Yay!
Y'all heard it here.
Message either one of us or Pretty and Pierce podcast on Instagram.
We'll type it up here.
I would say
type
yeah,
it
make
up
the
here.
message pretty and Pierce. That way it's
Yes.
easier to like.
Yes.
Serious inquiries only.
Yes, please, 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 please. And yeah,
I think that's all of our questions, huh?
I think that's all the questions. We're done interrogating you.
Alright.
But anyways, thanks for being on the show, Dad.
Of course.
Always fun.
Thanks for having me. I'm very proud of both y'all.
Aw.
Thanks.
Bye, friends.